In this video, guys, we are going to be talking about 10xing your online side hustle. Now, I'm really fired up about this video, and it's something that I love doing. I just love the idea of, expanding and multiplying an idea, especially when it comes to obviously online income, online financial success, and all that sort of stuff. 10xing your online side hustle. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is how do you go about literally just tearing it apart and smashing your side hustle, so that when people, any of your competitors, any of the websites that you're looking at online, how do you compete with them, right? And this video is aimed at you guys who are sort of starting out right from the bottom, or have got some online ideas already or whatever, but you're just not sure about how to just take the lid off it and just explode it and just really get it out there, right? So like omnipresence and outreach and everything, so it just drives a crazy amount of traffic to your online side hustle, whether that's an e-commerce store, whether it's an online affiliate marketing website, whether it's your own website where you're selling your own courses or whatever it is, right? This is what we're going to be talking about today, right? So the first thing I want to really talk to you about and really sort of stress the point of is that this isn't for the faint-hearted, right? This whole 10x concept, 10x, right, is something that obviously anyone in the know will obviously appreciate this, right? And it's that 10x is all that concept is from Grant Cardone, right? And the guy is literally on fire. This guy is not for everybody, because quite frankly he tells the harsh truth, right? He's very outspoken, but the thing is, you need people like that in the world. You need people who, if you're going to be even doing anything like having a side hustle, then you've got to put the work in, right? Meaning there's got to be a part of you that realizes that it's for you to break through and create a profitable online business. You're going to have to approach it with so much vigor and strength and just pure power and, we're going to smash it kind of attitude. That 10x really is the term that sums everything up, right? Now, the thing is, in 2018, I got the chance to meet Grant Cardone on a round table event, right? Now, that might not sound like a big deal, right? But I was one of only 6 people around this round table, and we all got to ask Grant Cardone about our online business, about anything that we wanted to ask him, and he would literally spend 10 minutes talking about our idea and what he would do, right? Now, the reason why this is important, right, before we get stuck into this, guys, is that you have to realize that this guy has got a multi-billion dollar portfolio, right? Meaning the value of his online real estate, and he's got loads of businesses. And he really is, for me, he's like someone who's like, he's a disruptor, right? Because he just brings it every single time. And he's actually quite spiritual as well, right? Believe it or not. But this is the thing, if you know Grant Cardone, and obviously you can tell I'm a massive fan, right? And yeah, it really is that sort of vigor that you've got to understand. And he, at this event, when we were around this round table, and it was an eye-opener to me, because he said, whatever idea that you focus on, you've got to be willing to put everything into it, right? You can't approach things, ideas, right? Especially if you're investing your time in it. So on your side hustle, if you're investing weekends, early mornings even, and evenings and late nights or whatever, because you want to create that freedom, you want to create that online income and whatever it means for you, right? This is really going to help you guys out, right? So what he said is, you've got to be the first thing is you've got to be omnipresent, right? Omnipresent. Now what this means is, it means that you guys have got to be everywhere. Now this is going to be a bit of a shock, a bit of a disruptive thought to some people, because they're going to be like, well, how do you do that? How are we going to do that, right? Now, you've got to try and be at least omnipresent as much as possible, right? Now, what I mean by that is, you might not be able to get on all of the social media platforms because people are going to, you've got to, a lot of the great marketers now, and I follow their advice to a T, right? I really, really do. But I think that there has to be an element of you wanting to really want a side hustle to work, right? And a part of that is understanding that at some times you are going to have to put in so much time and effort. And one of the ways you're going to be able to do that is by this omnipresence idea, right? Which means everywhere. Now, what I mean by this is, once you've got your, say, online store or your website or your funnel or whatever it is, right, and you want to start driving traffic to it, you need to be doing things like Facebook ads, even Google ads and Pinterest ads and all this sort of stuff. But have one original idea, content thought every single day, and put it out to everyone on that on different platforms. And the simple and quickest way is get on your phone. If you really want to represent your side hustle and you believe in it, then get out your mobile phone and literally just start posting videos onto YouTube, onto Facebook, but have obviously a structured approach to your videos, so have a point to them, right? And one tip is, you can talk about, this is something that I tried and this is what I found. And so if you don't have like an in-depth plan of, how people can do, loads of techniques or whatever, just literally document what you're doing now. Just say, I am so-and-so from xyz.com, and literally just say, and I've set this up for people to be able to do XYZ. So it could be, I am John from gardening supplies 10x.com or something, and basically my whole goal is to show you how you guys can create a killer garden, like a designer garden, for very little effort for an affordable price. Because on my website I show you all, like the landscaping galleries, and I've got so many ideas for you, and this is how you do it, and on there you can have your services and products. But just get out there and just start promoting yourself and just talk about yourself, and even say to people in that video, I'm just starting out, but if you just go to my website, gardensupplies10x.com, for example, and tell me what you think. What do you think of my idea? Do you think, what would you suggest? What would you recommend? And people start becoming followers of your outreach and just putting yourself out there. And that's how you start this whole thing about omnipresence. Because if you've got stuff to talk about, even if it's just your journey and you're documenting it and you're just telling people what you're trying out and what you found, for example, and then you share that on Facebook, on Instagram. And the best and quickest way to do it at this moment in time is video. Get yourself on video if you're confident enough. So stand in front of the video and literally just say to yourself, just talk, so do loads of Instagram stories, do loads of YouTube videos, and then you can even transcribe it. So this is what I mean. Another term is repurposing. Repurposing is where you take a single piece of content, or as Gary Vaynerchuk says, one original idea for that day, and then fitting it across all of the social media platforms. Now the thing is, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but I don't have the time. But you can use a tool called a content calendar. So something like Hootsuite or something like that. And what that does is it schedules your content for you so you just literally put your content in there and it schedules it over a number of hours. So you could do, you could have, say, 10 pieces of content in a day, or even 2 or 3. But rather than having to worry about it, it's all, you've scheduled it and it's done for you, right? And you can do that on a number of platforms. And if you do that, then you're leveraging automation, right? And that's a powerful thing. But Gary Vee literally does say, there is no shortcut to this. If you really want your side hustle to take over what's going on in your life right now, which is you might be in a job that you're not happy in, or a career that you're not happy in, and you want something, and if you don't want to start doing online courses, get on YouTube, figure out your idea and just start putting yourself out there. That's the cheapest and quickest way that you can start to build an online side income, and you will know what the next step is, right? And the next thing about 10xing your side hustle is, so when you're putting yourself out there with videos and just telling people who you are and what you do, is value, right? Is value 10x. So what I mean by this is, when you're putting yourself out there, put in a ridiculous amount of content when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to any of the platform. Remember that idea of Gary Vee? One original idea every single day is all it takes. And with that, you could put it on a podcast, you can put it on any number of platforms that you want, but it's consistency and putting that value out there. So the next term, more than anything, is consistency, right? And that means every single day, show up, be accountable, remember why you're doing this. So if you wake up early in the morning, or if you're not a morning person, just write down what you're going to get covered today, and then do it when you finish your work, when you come home, or plan it for the weekend. But plan 2 or 3 hours every evening, at least 1 hour, man. If you want your side hustle to go and blow up and work, you've got to put the work in. So literally consistency. Another person who everyone knows is Denzel Washington, and one of his key things about success and advice is consistency. Like, show up every single day. Even if you fail, even if you flop, even if you make a video, like this video that I'm making right now, it might not be a good video, but I'm putting myself out there. And, it's doing this on a regular basis with consistency, because it's consistency that's really going to be the biggest driving factor for your omnipresence. Because it's all right getting on everywhere, on all the channels for 1 week, but then what about the rest of the weeks? Because it's going to take time and repeated messages. With brands that I've worked with in my corporate career, like Coca-Cola and Disney, with their design team and marketing team and all that, the thing that they do that gets their business out there is consistency with marketing messages. And that's what one of the biggest things that you can do is omnipresence. So know what you do, add 10x value in that category, and share as many ideas as content and just real world things that people can do and get out there, but do it on a consistent basis, right? And that really is how to 10x your side hustle. If I had more time, I would put down many more points, but if you do these 3 things when it comes to your side hustle, it's going to blow up and it's going to surprise you with how successful you can be online.